So for me, the obsession with Dick came around that sweet spot of 1989 to 1992 when we had 89 Batman, of course, TMNT, Roger Rabbit, and of course, Dick Tracy. And of all four of them films, I couldn't tell you what, now as an adult, I couldn't tell you which one I liked the best. I think equally they all share a special place in my memory, in my life. You know, I love Batman, I love Dick Tracy. Roger Rabbit was just a really fun film, and of course the gritty TMNT film. So I was just captivated with all the colors and the different characters, you know, shoulders and mumbles, and Dick Tracy breaks in with that gun. And I used to obsess in school. I used to draw that movie poster over and over and over again till I perfected it. And I remember one time Jen Perkowski, who was one of the prettiest girls in school, was like, "Hey, Angelo, you really nailed that drawing of Dick." And I don't know, man. Weird memory hole to hear Crush say Dick just like blew my mind. Anyway, what the fuck am I talking about? Then he disappeared, and I don't know if it's... I know Warren Beatty owned the rights to Dick Tracy because of the film. He bought the rights. It was a passion project for Warren Beatty, and he didn't do anything with it, but weird stuff like this. And that would be to keep the license for Dick Tracy. So that must be up, because we have stuff like comics, and we have stuff like what I'm about to bring to you today, the amazing Mezco Dick Tracy. Before I really get into it, I know what you guys are going to say, and I will get into that in the video, because I just talked about the Ghostbusters being overpriced, and this thing wasn't cheap. But I got to tell you, when a figure you anticipate, that you can't wait for, that you pre-ordered, when it delivers, it's a very good feeling as a toy collector. The figure delivered. We are going to focus on Dick today. I will briefly show Flat Top. Let me quit yammering and babbling about all this bullshit. Let's see little Dick Tracy. Talk game! Yes! You and me, baby! Talk game! I can't take it anymore! It's Talk Games! Let's talk about the box first. It is a nice looking box. Has a great little image of old Dick on his communicator watch. Some comic strips from the old pulps, or that's what they were called, right? Nice looking. On the back you have Flat Top. This is a 2-pack. We will get to that as well. Listen, I don't like 2-packs. It is what it is situation. We will talk about all that. There's the box. Nice looking, but it's a fucking box. Let's get to the star of the show. Here he is like basically the money shot. He's looking badass. There's a nice touch where they give you a pocket that could be used, and the hand can go in the pocket. It's a very badass pose, and it's probably the pose I'm going to keep him in. Let me talk about price. This was a $200 set, and I'm the guy I just told you not to buy a Ghostbusters 2-pack for $200. So hypocritical, yes, but there's value here. And the cloth is stitched and tailored so nice. There's a love here, and I'm not saying that Mondo isn't going to put love into them real Ghostbusters, but there's something so special about this figure and what they did here that this is a $100 figure. It's you might disagree, you might call me a hypocrite, you can call me whatever you want. Would I wish this was cheaper? Do I wish it was in a single pack where I could just buy Dick Tracy for $100 and a couple of months later buy Flat Top for $100? Yes. And Prune Face is out there. I want him too. The one thing I will point out, I could be done with this 2-pack and be content. And if I might buy Prune Face, and heck, I might buy Mumbles down the line or whoever else they make. But you know, you need them Ghostbusters together. All together. and that's over $400 for just the Ghostbusters. And if you have to buy the 2-packs first, you don't know what date. That's where my point was. My point was really, it's a team set, so you need all 4 to be happy with that purchase, and that's $800. So let's get back to Dick Tracy. Pricing aside, figure is gorgeous. First impressions, amazing. Amazing looking figure. The tailoring on the suit is perfect. I will, so listen. He comes, let me just bust out the jacket. The coat, and he is blue. He's a dark blue. He's not black. That doesn't bother me. Almost has a Clark Kent vibe. I don't have this jacket underneath because it breaks, it causes the articulation to be a little tight. So it's just easier to take this off and not have it on. I will have pics of him with the coat off. It looks really smooth. The other thing I will say is this accessory, the holster, it doesn't look well. We will get to that in accessories, articulation. But first impressions are gorgeous. There's a wire in this belt to the raincoat. There are overcoat, not raincoat. I'm thinking of freaking the It character, yellow coats. You got little Georgie from It. You got the Curious George dude, and you got Dick Tracy, right? Anybody else wearing a yellow coat as a Super 7 figure, of course, falls in the background. It's a showpiece. It's one of them figures where you are going to want to put in a shelf display by himself, looking bad ass. Let's move on to articulation and accessories, because that's where things are good, and that's a few things where Mezco needs to, not step it up, just in a few little areas. Now, this dude is in a little tailored suit, so, all the articulation is there. You got to keep in mind that this is not baggy. It's not Bobo like Jerk would call it. It's very tight, as it should be. It's very streamlined. Head is on a ball peg. You can get him in enough poses. You can get him knocking people out and punching people. That's scary, right? They give you a hair piece to plug on there, but it just to look smoother and more elegant. I think that was smart. I don't know what body mold this is on. I'm not a Mezco aficionado. It feels like any other Mezco to me, like Doc Nocturnal or the Joker. But I am assuming it's on a newer body buck. Am I going to go crazy posing this guy? No. I'm going to maybe have him knocking out a few people. It'd be nice if he could sit down in a chair. I don't have any chairs. Let's see if he could do that. Honestly, I don't think he could. I don't think he could sit in a chair. I think that's why guys like Tony May, they make pantsuits and different clothing options for these figures. The suit is tailored so well, and it's not stretchy, that I don't think you'll be able to get this guy to sit in a chair. That could be a deal breaker for you. You could say, hey, Gaines, that's not worth $100 if you can't sit in a chair. I'm not a, toy photography guy, so it doesn't bother me at all. I'll show you what does bother me. Now, to get this coat off, you'd have to pop these hands off, do all that. I'm going to do that off camera just so it's, speeds up time. Now, like I said, I'm going to keep the suit jacket off because I also like the way this looks. It looks like a detective, looks like Dick Tracy chilling back at the office. Maybe he's going to call a dame and get his weasel greased. Maybe he's just discussing the case. He's going to go back out there and pump someone's belly full of lead. I really miss them terms, the way people used to talk back in the day. The coat with the blue, I got to admit, it has more like Clark Kent vibes. So if you want to do a Clark Kent for your Mezco figures, grab this as well. And that's where the problem lies with the 2-pack, because a lot of Mezco kit bashers buy figures for clothes. So when you're forcing the customer to buy 2 figures, it's silly. So I kept this off. There's a coffee cup, little snub nose. It comes with the badge that I just dropped, that I found. It comes with the hat, of course. 3 different head portraits that I will have close-ups of. One's kind of like smirking. One is, you know, pissed at the world, knocking someone out. Little flashlight doesn't work. That'd be next level. Not a Tommy gun. I forget what kind of gun this is. The old grease gun. Pair of handcuffs that don't work, and it's not a chain. No biggie. Little ammo clip. I guess they're not called clips. People get mad when you call them clips. I'm from the hood. We used to call them clips. Gangstar full clip. Another little tiny, like, gun you can hide somewhere in case he gets caught. And a bunch of hands, man. I'll have pictures of all the hands. The ones that stick out is the hand that can go in the pocket. The pointing, like, at the crook hand, like, hey, you, get your ass back here. And the rest are, like, man strangler hands, as Bones calls them. Another nice touch. He does have the watch, of course. The little alert. Calling Dick Tracy. Calling Dick Tracy. I'm really getting into it, huh? The stand is beautiful. I will say this. We don't need flight stands for characters that don't fly, Mezco. Maybe come up with something that is more of a shorter stand for an action pose. Here's where things... here's my only gripe. You might say the head is a scale too big. I like it for a comic. This isn't a movie figure, and it's not a comic like a DC or Marvel character. It's a comic that where they were exaggerated, so the big head lends itself to the character and the way they were drawn. Look at the size of that noggin there. So I think it... Look at that. Pretty fucking good. I think it works. Now, the bummer. This would have been a nice clean look. This doesn't fit well. Okay? I know this is where other reviewers kill me. I saw a reviewer. I won't name him. He popped this on here. Just like I am. Mind you, I'm not in an air-conditioned house. I'm in my fucking garage and it's blazing today. It's just too big. You can see the gaps. It's too big. And it's not supposed to go over this coat. This is how it's supposed to go. It's a bummer because it's such a neat accessory. It looks like shit. It's too big. Maybe I'll pop it on another figure. I don't know. Out of that coat, you know, you can have T-posing. It's double jointed. Is it double jointed? It's so hard to tell when there's a cloth figure. If it's not double jointed, there's a lot of range. You got a rocker and a hinge on the ankle. It's a clean looking, smooth figure. Did we go over all the accessories? So yes, this hairpiece comes off so you can switch out hats and the hairpiece for the face you want. But to me, Dick Tracy has to have the coat on and has to have the hat on to really fulfill the look. I know if you're a toy photographer, though, those options are fun. What's not fun is these bullet effects, Mezco. You've had these damn things for almost 10 years now. It's like, it's time for something a little different. And I never thought they looked that good to begin with. I think Hasbro has better bullet effects that I could dig out at this point. There's the watch. I'll have close-ups of everything. I promise. If not, I mean, in post is when I do the close-ups. So I don't even know why I mentioned that. I'm just fired up. When you are anticipating a figure and you like the character, and then a company who you think... This is a bunch of things that happen. I wanted Mezco to do Dick Tracy because I thought, because of a cloth coat, because that's the key feature to the design, would be fun. And then they announced it. Then you pre-order it. And then it comes out and you get it and they fucking nail it. It doesn't always happen. Was it pricey? Yes. It is a 2-pack. Let me put everything back on and let me wrap this up and give you my final thoughts. There's Flat Top, and like I said, I really wish I got Prune Face now. Thankfully, he's still on Amazon. Listen, 2-packs are a bummer. The price is a bummer. the value is there, though. If you set the value, let's say the figure is $70. All the accessories, extra heads, hands, guns, fire effects, display stand, flight stand, coffee cups, other guns. He came with a little violin case for his gun. Let's say the figure is $70 and all the accessories are $30. And like I said, this is some of the best tailoring I've seen on a Mezco 112 scale figure. This is Mezco Popeye. This is Mezco Doc Nocturnal. This is the Shadow. This is Mezco at the top of their game. Sometimes you have to pay a little more, but I can tell you, I do not regret this at all. So if you're one of those people that say, hey, you might feel that way when you get the real Ghostbusters, hey, I hope you do. I hope when you do buy them for $800 for all four, I hope you are happy. And I hope you're as happy as I am with this purchase. These are, this Dick Tracy for me is right there in my top 5 for figures of the year. As always, let me know what you think and take care. Have fun.
Woo! Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah!